Dark Knight, a true Batman story from Paul Dini. This is an interesting question because I didn't know what this book will be. So I just picked it up because it's Paul Dini, and I really think it's just impossible to disappoint in him, because everything what he did with Batman is so freaking great. It really threw a night when I couldn't sleep, and it just amazed me how great this story was, even if it was so freaking painful for me as a reader as well. And I just cannot really imagine what he'd been through during this period, but this story give us a really good shout out at that. I cannot really put it down because it was so interesting and deep and honest, and all these things just came together and they just made me to want to read the whole thing right now. A true Batman story feels more like a memoir of a really bad night after a horrible date, when Paul Dini walking home and some random jerks come and beat him and take his wallet and all these kind of things, which is horrible. But the thing what I really enjoy in this book is you can feel the pain, like literally, because the art is so really deep and it's so good, and it's so many levels. It's just giving you the feeling which you really need to feel, and the words what Dini using is just it's just really crazy honest. When I started to read, it was an uplifting story from a guy who's lost and lonely at school, and it was about his time discovering Batman and find the greatest superhero of all time and things like that. And it was really great seeing how supportive his family was and how he became a cartoonist and why he became a cartoonist. It's just a really interesting and great evolution, and only comics can give you this experience, especially on this level. And I really enjoyed all the insider moments at the Warner Animation, because it was the time when Warner Animation was, I think it was better than Disney at that time, especially at the beginning of the 90s when they did Batman and Superman and all this kind of crazy cool stuff. And it was a really great time to work there at Warner Animation, and it felt like it will be the story of that, and that part of the story has a very special indie vibe in it, which makes it even better than it possibly is, mainly because the passion of Dini is just coming through the panels, and you will start to understand why this guy likes Batman and why he's spending his entire career working around him, and it's just a great combination of an amazing artist, a writer, and a great character. When he's at the top of his career, you start to feel yourself comfortable, and you start to understand him, his little tiny problems like dating with a girl who don't give a shit for him, and then this amazing writer just falls apart when he gets beat up by random crazy stupid people on the street. But for me it was a bit more about his dating life. Like, Vivian wasn't a really nice person. I mean, she's pretty much the villain in this book because she's just super selfish, and it's piss you off, and you just don't understand what the heck Dini likes in her or why he's interested in her. Besides, she's a beautiful actress. And then the other side of this coin, there was Arlene, who was the original voice of Harley Quinn, and she just feels like the best person of the planet, and you just really understand why she's inspired Harley Quinn and why she became the voice of her, and it just feels so good, and it just warms up your heart, and you really connect to that person through that one scene. But this story is not about dating with someone or having friends. This story is how you get up after you get beat, and it's a very inspiring one. It has layers you go through on the phases with Dini, and you can understand him, where his passion coming from and why he felt he's lost at one point, and you just with him and support him with all of your love for this great creator, and then the magic happens. The main question in you is how he can raise up again, and how these amazing characters can help him during this process. My favorite part of this book sounds a little bit maybe silly, but I really enjoy the Scott McCloud style when he's giving a lesson to us and he teaching us so much, and not just where inspiration coming from, how you can take stories from your own life, or how you get an idea, how you can use a great character or even a person as a muse of yours, or how you struggling at work. It's all of this, but it's so much more. It's more like when you're really deep and you're really deep in your head, then how you can raise up and how you can be a better person and how you can do the things which you did before amazingly, you can do them better. For me, this is definitely a must-read book of the year, and it's definitely one of the best comic book you're gonna read this year, especially because it's a true story, especially because it's an amazing, inspiring story with so many layers. I really recommend Dark Knight, A True Batman Story to everyone because it's an inspiring story and you can learn so much from it. It's not a Batman story, but Batman has a huge part of this mastermind's life and how he can get through what he's been through. But let it discuss in the comments below and let me know what do you think about Paul Dini's book, because I think there is a lot what we could discuss about this. See you next time!